My name is Walter Amaya, and this is my story of how I became a follower of Jesus. I grew up in California. I believed there was a God, but I didn't go to church. I didn't have no relationship with him. Growing up, I got involved into drugs, drinking, thinking they were going to lead to a satisfying life. Um, I married my high school sweetheart. We had two beautiful kids. Later on, my family and I moved to Des Moines, but I still continued doing drugs, continued drinking alcohol. But my focus of satisfaction shifted to my work of cabinet maker. There were a couple things that God softened my heart. In 2022, I thought that my wife was gonna die. At that point in my life, I was drinking every day, all day, like if it was water. Um, my wife's health really shook me to the point that I actually gave up drinking. I stopped drinking. Um, the second, another family situation came up that I don't want to get into details, but it simply broke me. The situation broke me to the point where I remember praying to God, telling him, take my life. I was working for the first time around a bunch of Christians. One of them was Isaac Miller, who constantly preached about Jesus to me. So I met Isaac, and there was something about Isaac. There was something about him that captivated me, and I loved the way he treated people, the way he acted, and so I started attending the church that he attended, Eden Church. I met Pastor John. We started getting together with Pastor John. I started reading the gospel, and there was something about the gospel that I started reading that I knew that this is what I need and this is what I want. It was January 15th, and I remember it was on a Wednesday, driving home, and I knew I was a sinner, and I knew I needed a Savior. So it was that moment when I said, I'm giving my life to God. And I believe that God saved me that day. There's so many burdens that I have, my family, my personal burdens, and I gave them all to him that day, and I believe I got saved that day. It was January 15th. It's kind of hard to judge myself, but I'm gonna say, I've noticed that how I look at people, how I see people with more care, with more love, and to the point that even my family kind of makes fun of me, because they're like, oh, you're becoming very lovable, but I've noticed that the patience that I have towards people now that I did not know that I had, because I was a very impatient man, but I've noticed that the patience, the love, just like, see, those things, I've noticed the change in me. I was an aggressive man. I grew up very quick to get angry, and I've noticed that now it's a little bit more calm. Another thing that I've noticed about me, which I've never been a reader, I've never been a writer, but there's something that captivated me this year, reading the Bible, that just fascinating. I just want to read it more and more because the stories in there are just so beautiful, and I believe they're true. So yeah, it just captivated me so much.